Hi everybody, welcome back to another week of meals at the family seesaw. So tonight is Friday. Example here of where plans really change. So on the menu for tonight I was going to make a quiche and have that with some new potatoes and salad. But it's so cold out there, and we haven't had the snow that some parts of the country have had, but it is really, really cold. And I just didn't feel like quiche and salad. So as much as I love quiche, it went off the menu. So we got a bit creative. So we've got Caleb's got some cheesy scrambled eggs with some bacon. And these are the new potatoes. I just halved them and did them in the actor fryer. I've got the same as Caleb. And then Tony's got cheese omelette. And he'll have some bacon and potatoes to go with that. So we had a bit of a change of plan. But a Brinner dinner for us, which is always a favourite. And hopefully a bit more warming than quiche and salad would have been. And Caleb and Tony have been to the cinema this evening after school. What did you go and see, Caleb?
How to Train Your Dragon, The Hidden World, I think. But How to Train Your Dragon 3. But I don't really like How to Train Your Dragon, but that one was really good. So now I think I'll watch all the How to Train Your Dragon episodes.
Oh, do you want to see the others now?
The other movies and the other episodes.
And what movie's out next week that we're looking forward to seeing?
The Lego Movie 2.
Yay! Hopefully we'll go and see that sometime next week.
And I think in July, we're going to see Toy Story 4.
Yep, that's all coming out. Lots of good movies this year, aren't there? So, okay, you ready for dinner?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's eat. Look at your outfit. And your new boots that you had for Christmas. First time you've really worn them, isn't it?
Yeah, anyway. But also, I was there at Shacky's, but I was thinking... What's that sound? I was thinking of wearing trackies, but I was thinking of also wearing these, so I wore some skinny jeans.
Well, okay. Well, we've got dirty dishes behind you, so we don't really want to look at that. So let's go and eat.
Bye.
Hi everybody, so it's Saturday evening and tonight we've got quite a standby meal for us, actually, using the chicken thighs. This is something I call Amish chicken. The only reason I call it that is because that's the title I've got written in my little kind of handwritten recipe book. When I first went to the US to live, I lived in a little rural town in Oklahoma, and in those sorts of communities it's much like the sort of little communities you see on the movies. Everybody knows everybody, and there's lots of community activities going on, and a very common thing is something called a potluck, where everybody comes along and brings some food, and then you all just tuck in, and it can be in social groups, it can be at people's houses to watch a football game or some American football game, something like that. It can be at church events, at workplaces, lots of potlucks. So there was a lady that often used to come to potlucks where I lived, that used to bring this really delicious chicken that tasted like fried chicken, but it wasn't. And she wrote down the recipe for me, and I still have it. So all you do is coat the chicken in a mixture of flour, some paprika, a little bit of salt and pepper, and then some onion powder or onion granules and garlic granules. Just mix that all together, coat the chicken thighs in it, and then just put them in an oven with no oil or anything. You put them skin down, and then halfway through you flip them over skin side up. About 45 minutes to an hour total cooking time, depending on the size of the chicken pieces, at about 180 degrees. So you don't want them to crisp up too much. But as you can see, the chicken is nice and crispy on the outside, and it's lovely, and if I can get it without taking the skin off, lovely meaty underneath. That's why we like the chicken thighs. You get the flavour, but you also get a nice piece of meat with the thigh. So we've got that. We've got some new potatoes that have just been boiled. They've got a little bit of salt and pepper and a little bit of butter on them, and then some steamed vegetables. So that's Caleb's, and that's mine. And there's a pan of the chicken. I cooked about 8 or 9 pieces of the chicken. So there's plenty there for Tony to make up his plate. So Saturday night tea, simple Amish chicken supper. Hi everybody, Sunday evening, and tonight we've got a roast pork dinner. So we've had chicken the last few weeks for Sunday dinner, And this week we've gone with pork, so that's mine. I did have afternoon tea out today with a colleague from work who was celebrating her 50th birthday. So I'm not that hungry, but I know if I don't eat, I'll be really hungry later, and then I'll eat things that are not good for me. So I'm just going to have, I've got 2.5 little pieces of pork there. I've got a few of our roasties done in the active fry and some vegetables. And then there is Caleb's. He's got pretty much the same amount of food as me. We've got some applesauce to go with it. Caleb likes mint sauce with his, so he'll have that. And then we've got some gravy over the top. So traditional Sunday dinner, roast pork for us this week. Hi everybody, so it's Monday evening, and tonight we've got another bit of a throwback to our American side of the family with chili mac. So this is a bit of a combination of macaroni cheese and chili. Not quite macaroni cheese, and obviously not quite chili. So I used a packet of turkey mince, browned that in a pan with a little bit of onion, garlic and a little bit of pepper. And then once it was browned, I added a can of chili beans, and that is this sort of beans. So it is the red kidney beans, but they're in a chili sauce rather than just in water. I added a can of those, a can of chopped tomatoes, a can of passata. I added a sachet of chili seasoning mix. You could just add chili powder, but I just happen to have one of those in the cupboard, so I added a packet of that. What else? Some cumin, just to add it a little bit more, beefing up the flavour, or the southwesty kind of flavours. And then added in a cup of milk, some macaroni. Now I thought I had more macaroni than I did. There would normally be more pasta in ours than this, but I only had half a package left, so I just had to use what I had. So some macaroni, and then a couple of small handfuls of cheese. Mix that all together, cover your pot, cook it for about 10 minutes, and then uncover the pot and cook it for about another 7 or 8 to 10 minutes until your macaroni's nicely cooked through and it thickens up quite a bit. So when you first take the lid off, it will be quite runny, still almost soupy, but if you cook it without the lid on, then the liquid starts to evaporate and you get this more of a thick chili type of mixture. So we're having that this evening. It's a cold night, so will be perfect for us for tonight. Caleb's not eating with us. He had dinner with his childminder, and we're just going to serve it with some corn muffins. So if you've seen our Meals of the Week videos before, you'll know I always keep in the pantry a package of the corn muffin mix, Jiffy corn muffin mix, a bit of a staple in American pantries. You just make it up with a little bit of milk and an egg, and you can either cook it in a pan like one piece of cornbread, or you can cook it like this and make cornbread muffins. And so I just decided to do the muffin version tonight. So there's 6 little cornbread muffins, a big pot of chili mac. So lovely for a Monday night, winter's Monday night, a nice warming supper. Hi everybody, so it's Tuesday evening, and tonight we've got like Caribbean chicken, Jamaican chicken. So when I lived in the US, I had a number of friends that were from the Caribbean, and they would always make this big pot of curry when they had people around, or just really any time, and it would have various kinds of meat in. Lamb, chicken, goat is a popular meat in the Caribbean. But it's not like curry like Indian curry. But essentially I've got some chicken thighs in here. You can see they always cook their meat on the bone. So I've got some chicken thighs that I just browned at the bottom of the pan with some curry powder on them. Then to that, once they were fully browned, I added a chopped potato, a few chopped potatoes, some carrots and some green beans, a chopped red chilli, some sprigs of fresh thyme. You can see those in there down on the side there. And a chopped onion, a bay leaf, some, what other seasonings did I use? Oh, a little bit of paprika, obviously curry powder, and then for the liquid I added some chicken stock and about half a can of coconut milk. Just let the whole lot cook away for about 45 minutes to an hour on the stove top. You could do this in the slow cooker easily if you just wanted to let it cook all day. It's got really deep kind of curry flavours, but it's also got lots of vegetables, a bit like a casserole or a stew really, but with those curry flavours underneath. So don't need any rice or anything with it because we've got potatoes in it. So we are just having a little bit of naan bread to go with it. So Tuesday night supper is Jamaican curry chicken.